Oh, hi, it's Dr. Rich Mclean, and I want to turn a bad situation into something really good. And I'm going to support the people and certain organisations in my quest for justice. My name's Dr. Richard McLean. I'm a homeless vagrant. I'm a martyr and a scapegoat, and I've been left with nothing. I have no value, no dignity, no healthcare, no rights. I can't go to the police. I can't get a lawyer, and I can't be a whistleblower. And I'm homeless, and I need some immediate intervention. And for the privilege of me receiving money to live a simple life, it is my promise that I will acknowledge all those people and pay 125% of their money back, plus another 25% to a charity of their choice, because I'm a multi-millionaire and I've been catastrophically character assassinated and scapegoated. I'm an innocent man. I'm free today. This is my Scott. This is Crystal, my dog. Please listen to my story. Let's turn something that's a really bad situation that is opposing the Charter of Human Rights of people with a disability, and let's make it into something good. Thanks. And if you are the singular person who brings traction to my very systemic issues that go right across the government and right up to the office of Prime Minister in Cabinet, to the local coffee guy, I will personally, when justice comes, gift you $200,000. That is my promise to you. Please listen to my story. Thank you. Again, so basically it's Rich McLean. It is the 20th of April 2022. I've existed for a year past a suicide attempt inside a hospital, which was the result of systemic government oppression, and it was considered a fatal injury and a lethal attempt, one which the government then condoned and has left me very forgetful, and I can't feel my feet, which is obviously a detriment. So yeah, I'm actually seeking some financial backers from the public or not associated with government and supporters who believe in justice and equity, equality, and will immediately help me. That is because I'm homeless as of today, and I just want to live a really basic existence with Crystal, the dog that she is, and I, until I can tackle the government in the Supreme Court of Australia. I am actually a scapegoated and character assassinated man. Terrible things have been said about me. I'm none of those things. I'm a free man. They're just waiting for me to fall off the bandwagon so they can proposition poverty as mental illness and lock me up. But I'm okay. I'm not suicidal. And in regards to the money, I just want a simple life. The millions of dollars of detriment that is owed to me, I don't even want. I'm a person who suffers death threats at the door. My family's turned against me. I'm judged. I'm rejected. I'm oppressed. I've been tortured. I've been scapegoated. I've been persecuted and systemically oppressed, and with willful acts of omission denied government help by all PSAs or public service people or politicians. So let's turn something bad like a death, or maybe the death that's coming, or the great detriment that's going to happen soon, into something transformationally great. I actually go back to shamanism, which I did my PhD on. If something's yours, you must gently take it back. If it's not yours, you must give it back. That's the simple thing. So let's examine the offer in a more gentle way. I think I'm a transformational expert. It's going to transform this pure evil of a movement to destroy me and the tragedy that happened and is happening to the love and happiness and prevention of suffering and a gesture of altruism for other marginalised people in order to advance their happiness. It's a win-win. It'll save my life and the remnants of my very human value and dignity to be restored. Because at the moment I have no doctor, no advocate, no money, no healthcare, no police I can go to, no lawyer, and no whistleblowing status. So in this, my altruism will be allowed to be born again, that was stolen via, the taboo of death and suicide, and it'll assist vulnerable, marginalised, and vitally important people. That has been the mantra of my life, which you can see I have acted with altruism for over 25 years, helping people who are more marginalised than myself. Unfortunately, I became the marginalised one, but I was toxically scapegoated. Now, under the law, a parliamentarian or a government official is a PSA. They have obligations to act within the Charter of Human Rights of a person with a disability, and that was ratified by the government in 2008. I demonstrate all this on my website, killhim.info. So I'm the centre of an elaborate conspiracy to pervert the course of justice. And this is just some of the monetary detriment that I lost. So first of all, I was character assassinated so bad that my job as an NDIS allied health professional was taken from me because it was rendered illegitimate, and I had a very difficult time there at work with a sexually abused man whilst I was going through my own sexual abuse case, which caused an injury, and also the confusion of my work being rendered illegitimate. That's because I failed 2 VOCAT cases, and I, over 2 years, collected the narrative of this poor man who had been raped as a child and had incest issues as well. And I had protections in place to protect me from that, but I had to leave work. Now, I lost $75,000 from HCF at my income assist, and even though I've proven Sheena Jack, the CEO, to be documenting documents, which is fraud. So yeah, I was scapegoated out of the job. Now, I was hospitalised illogically, and they mistake my poverty for illness, and it was a method to oppress me, and that was illegal. And the suicide in there that was considered fatal, I offered an atonement for, and they rejected it. They said, the CEO, Dave Stevenson, said, sue me directly and personally. Now, he well knows I can't go to the police, I can't get a lawyer, and I can't be a whistleblower. So the system's cooked. So I lost over $1 million at the Australian Human Rights Commission. This was in regards to a superannuation issue. And at the Australian Financial Complaints Authority, I lost $1 to $2 million. They watched for 2 years and more as my determinations went unfounded, didn't arrive at conclusions, and they watched me suffer, become a vagrant, be hospitalised, die, live, and then they blackmailed me to not contact them, or else they will cancel all my cases, and I had to find an advocate. And because I'm so systemically watched, an advocate appears. Lo and behold, he works for the Department of Health and Human Services. He acted in a way which lost me then $2 million at AFCA. And I'm about to lose my what's probably considered a total permanent disability work cover case at the AAT. Now, WorkSafe in Victoria refused to help me with my appeal at Comcare. Ultimately, Paul Fowler, the guy from Comcare, and a lawyer, rejected me on a technicality. However, as corruption would have it, he used to be the head at WorkSafe. Yes, this persecution is systemic, it's endemic, and it's right across the board, and it goes up to the Prime Minister. I have let the Attorney General, Mclean I, know about this kind of corruption. Like many others, she doesn't see a holistic person with justice and legal issues, that as a public official, she must act not outside the Charter of Human Rights for people with disability, but she sent me to SANE's helpline. SANE's, my book I wrote years ago was SANE Australia's Book of the Year, and also was a SANE speaker and involved in much of their work. So the Attorney General is absolutely cooked, and so is the Prime Minister. If you are the one that brings traction to this for me, I'm going to make you rich. That is because I actually don't need a lot of money. I just want a simple life free from persecution and death threats. I want to have medical care. I want to have the Charter of Human Rights acknowledged in my case, and that means equal access to the law, equality before the law, and it means to be not tortured, it means to be not prejudiced, it means to be not discriminated, and it means that I have a simple home that atones for my level of disability. And that is the law anyway. And I want to say again that I have unequivocal evidence on killhim.info down below that I'm banned from going to police. A valid complaint about a GP I made years ago, I didn't know until after I'd been literally murdered in hospital and oppressed for so much that his lawyer was Mr. Ball of Ball and Partners or something. And he is a 40-year experienced lawyer who informs the government of their policy. Now, what a surprise. I wonder why I had fought so long to try and just find some equity and traction and justice with the law. So I'm banned from lawyers, and he's a member of the legal bar. So every legal firm I call doesn't want anything to do with me. In addition to that, all I wanted was some witness protection and some freedom from persecution, from death threats, equality before the law, and access to justice. I'm a failed whistleblower at IBAC, who investigate Victorian Police, at APRA, and ASIC, and the Commonwealth Ombudsman. Now, say my AAT case of $1 million and something fails at the AAT for my work cover case. There's two things here. One, as a person with a disability, I am required to have a legal appointed person. I don't know the legislation. I've started to do all this research myself. So, and if that fails, and it will, and Mclean I knows about it, I'll have to go to the Commonwealth Ombudsman. But I've already got a recording on killhim.info about how I'm scapegoated. What's a man to do? I have to ask the public who are not attached to the government to help me bring this to justice in the High Court. This whole thing is a collective systemic oppression, and it led to my suicide in Werribee Mercy Hospital over a year ago in February 2021. The Freedom of Information said it was fatal and lethal attempt, and I have not had the dignity of one psychologist or a neurologist to assess my very forgetful brain, I'm reading this, and that I can't feel my feet. And the complex PTSD that accompanies you when you slit an artery open, sorry to be quite descriptive, and bleed out to no pulse in the bottom of a shower. I know I have brain damage because I'm in my brain and I know my memory, and I'm physically affected because I can't feel my feet. After that hospitalisation, I was dumped into the community with squatting, with they put me on the dole, even though I was already on sick leave and had been on the DSP before, and they left me kind of homeless with no food, no car, no job now, and further than that, I wanted to save the family shame of looking after me, so I went bankrupt. I shouldn't have had to though. Anyway, the hospital apology, which the government said was enough as an apology, an atonement, was saying sorry for returning a filthy, broken toilet brush that I'd originally used to try and slit my artery in my only clean clothes after I was revived from certain death. In the apology, which is on the site, they said, sorry for gifting me the toilet brush. It's not hospital policy to give away our property. And that's the audacity and the protection from the law and the absolute immunity they have from prosecution. It is unjust, it is abhorrent, and it is an ungodly way to victimise a single person, me, Dr. Richard Mclean. So in the original Dr. Whittaker case, which I innocuously made a recording of, was a doctor who to this day wasn't even registered with APRA where I made the complaint, and nor to this day is he registered for GST, and he's a sole trader. I've got nothing against that doctor, we all have bad days. But the following organisations and people covered it up. Many people: Health Complaints Commissioner, Mental Health Complaints Commissioner, APRA, NHP OBC, the Victorian Ombudsman, and the police, the Federal Police, IBAC, and the Victorian Inspectorate. I've already forgiven everyone. No one goes to jail. No one, apart from insurance, pays for the detriment. It's the libel and slander that affects me, and had really acted in conspiracy to maim and then kill me. That's why I named the website killhim.info. And that's why I need your help today. There's a pay ID there, leave your name, because if you believe in justice, I'm going to get that justice, and I'm going to be atoned for all the detriment, emotional, physical, the ruining of my life, the framing, my memory, the money loss, everything. I'm taking the federal government to the Circuit Court of Australia, and I wish to hold them to account on the vile persecution and victimisation, libel and slander, and the toxic scapegoating and character assassination that has led me to make this video. Scapegoats have a unique perspective on the world. Well, I've always had a unique perspective on the world. But in addition to this, my former partner, who I was engaged to, was an ASIC agent. Now, he might be behind this. He embezzled millions in an offshore tax haven and admitted a lot of other crimes. We never had an atonement or a way of separating. He left me homeless with his dying dog and disappeared. He owes me over $500,000. I shouldn't have had to go bankrupt, and ASIC said it was me who failed to recoup the money, but in fact, it is the government protecting people with money, power and privilege, as opposed to me, a mentally ill man who is addicted to using drugs or regretful sex and has a mental illness and easy to exploit and kill. People in positions of power, privilege, reputations and money are all willing to collectively exploit and then persecute me in order to protect their interests, their property and their reputations. They don't care if I die. I've already proven that because I have died, and then they covered it up. Now everyone's forgiven, and I reckon I could single-handedly throw this election. All my prosecution in the federal court needs to do is to prove 3 or more people acted via intent or via omission to agree to pervert the course of justice. I've already proved that. This is an infallible thing that I'm undertaking. And I have no option either. That's why I'm followed. And that's why I'm bugged. And that's why I'm intercepted. That's why I'm famous. That's why I'm an infamous vagrant. And that's why I'm set up to fail. That's why when I asked for my freedom of information from the Prime Minister of Office of Prime Minister and Cabinet, that they first said it was too voluminous and there was too much of it. And then on my birthday, and because I've been character assassinated, I spent that alone. They released a statement saying there is no information on you, which is incredibly hard to believe considering the systemic oppression, and that I've spoken in Australian Parliament, been featured in newspapers, I've been an illustrator for the Herald Sun and the Age, and I've been the subject of national awards, and I've published a Human Rights Award winning book, blah, blah, blah. So it goes right to the top. There is no way that there is nothing there at the Office of Prime Minister and Cabinet. It's clearly obvious through all the evidence, and everything I say is backed up on killhim.info. If I am killed, not by my own hand, because I am not suicidal, but from a systemic violence of neglect, and they're trying to create that situation, my soul's not for sale. And you know what? They can't take my soul. And if I do die through vagrancy or any other thing, my soul's mine, and I'm okay with that. I really hope no one turns a blind eye to this, because the person who intervenes is going to get $200,000, and the organisations that I'm willing to support will get, I'm going to pick about 6 of them, and they're going to get about 10% of the money that I get from the detriment and the settlement. I don't need much to survive. I'm a simple person who relies on Buddhism. And all I want is a life free from death threats, enjoy the dimension while I'm here. I mean, the earth monkey dimension, that my spirit's having a human experience. And there you go. That's us. We'd love your support, because I'm a nationally celebrated figure turned scapegoated enemy of the nation, and it's unequivocally unfair and through libel and slander that they've created and rendered this situation in which I died, then was covered up and I lived, but then further I was oppressed, my business destroyed, all this kind of stuff. This is an unholy way to victimise one person. But you're all forgiven, and if anyone's not attached to the government, or if anyone's willing to invest, and I never assume anyone's prosperity, even $20, $50, I think a whole house in Melbourne is about $1,600 a month. I need a couple of months advance tomorrow. What am I going to do? It's been over a year since I died, and then survived by accident, and I need your help. And I'm going to support and transform this awful, awful situation, and forgive everyone, and just smile at the breeze, enjoy my dog, enjoy my lovers, the ones that hung around, and help those organisations of marginalised people that need our help and support, and the NGOs that are unconnected to the government, which I'll list when this is broadcast. So it's the 20th of April 2022. It's Dr. Richard Mclean, and I'm a human rights awarded artist, advocate and author, and I was a little bit well known, and now unfortunately I'm infamous just because I asked for help. And now I'm asking for your help, and I'll put the pay ID down the bottom, and I promise that come death or life, or victory or none, you will get that money back, plus 25% and 25% to your charity of your choice. because I will put you in the death benefit. But also, if I do win at the High Court and I'm sustained until I can do that, the person who gets this traction will get $200,000. And in addition to that, all the companies that are the NGOs that I want to support and support the wonderful rainbow, touched by the angels, special people that keep the world colourful and keep it beautiful and teach us all to be patient and all that kind of stuff, they're going to benefit as well. So my pay ID's at the bottom. I've got my Victorian Suicide Awareness t-shirt on, and it's Rich Mclean signing off. Please help me and Crystal. Crystal, can you say I love you? Crystal, 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 I love you. No, she's cracked this out to me because I'm talking. Anyway, thank you for listening. Thank you for honouring my story. All the evidence you will ever need is at the website killhim.info. It is unequivocally fact. I haven't done anything wrong. I believe I'll be framed for a crime I've never done and locked away somehow, but we'll wait and see. This is my insurance policy against that. Please help me. Please help me and Crystal. Please help me continue to give to the world as I've always done in my 25-year plus advocacy career, which you can see at richmclean.com.au, where those altruistic things were listed. Thanks again for listening. It's Dr. Rich Mclean from killhim.info. Please help me. I've got nowhere to sleep. Thank you.